Hello, my name is Mary Fortune, and I am a sweet little ferret made of cake and cotton wool, and today I wanted to try something a little bit different. Welcome to Baby's first ASMR session with working audio. I thought I would take you all on a curated tour of some of my favorite textures. I am specifically a fluffy, fuzzy, and soft girly. I had to think about that for a second there. But I also enjoy some hard, smooth textures as well. But I thought I would show off just 5 of my favorites for a start. Nothing too big for my first attempt at ASMR. But let's just get into it. I thought I would show you Faith, my Clefairy, first. I won her at a crane game several years ago. In one attempt, actually. I was very proud of myself, and I'm glad because she was so worth it. She has a very lovely face. It's very shiny. It almost has that velour texture to it. I don't believe it is, of course. It's just the normal faux fur that you find on most stuffed animals, but she's very firm as well, which I appreciate. I like when stuffed animals are firm, so she can take a bit of a squish. She also has some embroidery on her face. It's not particularly my favourite, but it's not bad either. The felt on her claws does leave a little bit to be desired, as it is a little sharp and pointy, but it has dulled over the years, as she is, in stuffed animal years, quite old. But yes, I really appreciate her. I like the coil at the top of her head. It has a good texture to it as well. You can squish her, you can kiss her. So yes, this is Faith. She is very cute, and she has a tail, of course, wings. Yeah. So yes, thank you for your service, Faith. The next soft toy that I wanted to introduce you all to is Flopsy. I've had Flopsy since birth, so she is quite elderly by stuffed animal ages. She has a bit of a fleecy texture to her, regarding like her belly, her face. She's got a ribbon for a nose. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It's a very ribbony texture to her nose. Plastic eyes. I do enjoy some good smooth plastic, and that's a good segue to mention my acrylic nails. It's another texture that I really like. I had this done specifically for this video. But what I like best about Flopsy is the inside of her paws and her ears. Let's see if I can find a good way to show it. There we go. So she's got this inside texture as well, and it's a lot more of the traditional faux fur. It doesn't have nearly quite so that fleecy texture that I mentioned. It's more of that almost velour inspired feeling. So she has it on the inside of her ears, on the inside of her paws. No toe beans, of course. She's a bunny rabbit. But my favourite has always been the ones on her feet. I think they've always been the softest, and they continue to be the softest even in her old age. But yes, this is Flopsy. Thank you all for meeting her. Isn't she just precious? She is from the another Corico friend company. I haven't done too much research into them, but I feel like that's an unusual tag. So she's always been quite special to me in that regard as well. Returning to the Pokemon theme, of course, we have my Brassius Oshinui. I bought him in 2023 in November at a Pokemon Center in Tokyo. I love the texture of his hair. It's so nice on the outside. It's a smooth and soft texture. I feel like that's quite unusual. He has a traditional, just soft, fluffy face, I would say. He has a little bit of squish to him, a lot of firmness, especially in his body. I'm not a big fan of the spiky aspects of the felt that they've used here. It's a bit too harsh for me, and it is unfortunately present on the edges of his hair, but in order to get that kind of spiky cabbage shape, it is necessary, I would say. Yes, he's very cute. I take good care of him. He gets lots of kisses, I assure you. But yes. Yeah. This particular patch here, oh, the nice smooth arc, it's literally divine. But yes, this is Brassius. Everyone say goodbye, Brassius. Bye bye. And I'm sure it will surprise absolutely no one that Spectre will make his second appearance on my channel, third if you include the YouTube short, where I will show him off now. So he is, unfortunately the yarn he is made of is quite coarse, I would say, but he has very firm. Again, I really love when stuffed animals are firm, and he is bespoke, very unique, so I adore him with all of my heart. When I look at him, I am of course reminded of the internet adage, to be loved is to be changed, and already we are seeing some of that happening, where his mouth is losing some of its definition. It's not turning up on camera as much as it is in real life, but he does have some loose threads there. That's to be expected. I love him lots and lots, so he gets, I would say I treat him very, very well. I literally took him to the beach. But he is showing some age despite not even being a year old yet. But in addition to Spectre, of course, is his new scarf that I've adorned him with. I bought this from an accessory shop for Labubus in Sydney quite recently. So we've got the carrot, and the scarf itself is really soft. It's a nice premium yarn, I would say. But there's also the button at the back, and again, going back to the fact that I really love hard, smooth textures as well. And the yellow cream of this button is so pretty. I've always been so obsessed with buttons, even when I was a child. Love hard, smooth textures. And I want to regale a kind of, speaking of my childhood, I want to mention another sensory memory I have specifically of childhood. I remember being, I would say in year 2, so I would have been under the age of 10, I think, and sitting on the planter boxes in a crisp winter morning, and I would sit there, and my favorite thing to do, because this planter box, had like the seating was all rocks, and it was all encased in like some grout, I think, and some of the rocks would peek through, and I loved touching the rocks. And there was this one that it reminded me of a button, because it was, again, hard, smooth, but also had like softness to it, almost like, again, my acrylic nails or the button on this scarf. So that's something I really enjoyed, is being able to touch and rub. So yes, bye bye Spectre. And to end off this ASMR session, I want to introduce you all to Oribu, or Ori for short, my Smoliv plushie. He is very large, very rotund. I love him lots and lots. Unlike my other plushies, he doesn't have that firmness to him. He compacts quite well. He reminds me of a Squishmallow in that regard. He, again, also the lower texture of it feels kind of nice to rub against. It makes a nice satisfying rushing noise, I would say. Yes, he's quite large. I would even posit that he is bigger than like a life-size Smoliv. He's very, very big, and he was an excellent pillow. I can't recommend these enough as a pillow. I was quite sick at the time I purchased him in April of 2023 from a Pro Center, and I used him as a pillow on the bus rides that we would go from place to place. Excellent nap. I adored using him as a pillow. He's so cute. And even the flight attendants agreed. Like when I took him home, the flight attendants on my Japan to Hong Kong trip, they were like, totemo kawaii. And also there was this receptionist. She was like, kawaii nogurumi desu. And I was like, hi. I was also really sick, so I would have loved to. That's probably not what I said. But yes, I love him lots and lots. So thank you very much, Ori. You are a good pillow. I love you lots and lots. Thank you all so much for coming with me through this curated tour of some of my favourite textures. And this was my first proper attempt at ASMR. Previous attempts have gone awry in one way or another, whether it's audio not working, my hand cam not working, but this felt fun. I didn't mind doing it, and I would like to show some appreciation to my guests. So of course my stuffed animals whom I have used for this event. So thank you Faith. Mwah. Thank you Flopsy. And thank you Brassius. Thank you Spectre. Yes, he gets 3 for good luck. And finally, thank you, Ori. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.